Vernon Fox, your official School of the Legends, Washington Redskins team's correspondent, and you are tuned in to Throwback Talk with V. Fox. I want to give you a weekly update of what's going on each and every week. So let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about the preseason first off. Now, let's talk about this battle. They had a quarterback battle going on. We all knew about it. Rex Grossman, John Beck. They were split down the middle. One was about 62% completion rate, the other about 64% completion rate. It was up in the air all the way to the end. John Beck had an opportunity in the last preseason game to lock down the starting position. And due to a lackluster performance, it looks as though the helm has been given to Rex Grossman. Now, I want to say something in defense of John Beck. Okay, you gotta love the guy when you see everything he's been through, when you see his road into the NFL, and I mean, the guy hadn't played in a game since like 2007, and so you gotta love this guy, his character, everything about him. But I want to say something in his defense. Now, I want to say, when you play in that last preseason game, things are a little shaky. And I want to explain to you why, because I want you to understand the coach's perspective. A coach's perspective in the last preseason game, what you're trying to do is you're trying to give your starters a rest, but at the same time, you're trying to see who can make the team. So, when you're a guy out there that's a veteran that's trying to make the team, you're playing with a lot of guys that are inexperienced, that have not had a lot of practice time. And I'll tell you why. Because that last week of the preseason, yeah, you're trying to see who's going to make your team, but at the same time, you're also trying to get your starters as much work as possible because you're two weeks away from playing that first season opener. So, in John Beck's defense, he's out there with a lot of guys. Now, trust me, I got nothing against backups and guys that, you know, don't get many opportunities, because I was that guy for a very long time. I was a spot starter in the NFL, and I was a backup, a lifetime backup. So I understand that perspective, but I also know that those guys don't get a lot of reps, and so they don't have a lot of experience, and they're not playing together. John Beck was competing for the starting quarterback job. That means that he had been working with the starters and all types of people. So now he's out there with a guy that's maybe third or fourth string, a rookie that, you know, hadn't been blocking for him. They haven't been working together. And so it's difficult to have a successful performance. Now, I say that in his defense, but at the same time, everyone says on the team, we've seen interviews from, I think I saw Anthony Armstrong. We saw a bunch of people that were in support of the decision to go with Grossman. They said that he earned it. And look, this is our quarterback. Rex Grossman is our quarterback. Let's support him. The guy's been successful in the past. He took the Bears to the Super Bowl. Let's see what he can do. Let's rally behind him. And obviously, they got a lot of confidence in John Beck because they only kept those two guys as the active quarterbacks. They got a third guy that's practice squad, but hey, two guys on the active roster as quarterbacks. So we got to support Rex Grossman. Now, let's talk about this new roster. A lot of changes have been made. Everybody knows that. First of all, I want to say, man, we send a sincere goodbye and a farewell to Predator 48, our guy, Chris Horton, man, a guy that I love playing with, a guy that's a class act, works hard, and we know he'll land on his feet, so we're praying for you, buddy, man. Go out there and get it done wherever you end up playing next. But let's talk about this new roster. I mean, since Mike Shanahan has been there, it's been a 72% turnover. We're talking only 15 guys that have been pre-Shanahan skins that are left on the team. The average age of this new roster is 25 and a half years old. Now we're talking, that's almost a difference of like 3 years just from last year. So we're going with a relatively young team, and we're not going to use the R word, right? Right? I hear you. If you were there and I can hear you, then I know you're saying right. Because even Shanahan said we're not going to use rebuilding. When you use the word rebuilding, you're giving an excuse to lose, and we will not do that as Skins. So I think we had a good draft. We kept 9 out of the 12 guys, and I think maybe at least 3 of those other guys are on the practice squad. So it's a good draft. It looks like the guys panned out, and we've gotten some new guys that have been added to the team. One guy in particular that I'm really happy about that'll be starting opposite Santana is Jabbar Gaffney. I played with Jabbar in Denver. I know this dude has the talent to get it done. We saw he proved it in New England, and then he came over to Denver, was a very solid player. You give this guy a chance, he'll make some good plays for you. And then we got Dante Stallworth. People are sleeping on him. I mean, the guy down to the wire probably barely made the team by making that catch and winning the game in the preseason finale. But listen, this guy still has the skills, fast as ever, and he'll be someone that'll really help us. Now, I want to talk about the Giants. Okay. All right. the battle this is. You understand that this is a rivalry. This is crucial. We got to win this game. They're coming to FedEx Field. It's a 9/11 memorial game. It's going to be wild there, man. We got Neo singing the national anthem. We got Colin Powell will be one of the captains, honorary captains. So this is just be tremendous. They're going to be passing out flags. If you are in FedEx Field, wave the flags proudly. We're going to get the Skins excited. This is going to be an exciting day. But let's talk about these Giants, man. These dudes have gotten the upper hand of us for a long time. We're talking like the last 6 meetings they've won. They won on an average of 15.1 points win margin. I mean, they've been killing us. And if we're going to be technical, literally the 9 out of the last 10 times we met these guys, they beat us. We have to do something about this. Literally, it goes back to 1976. This is the last time that we beat them in a season opener. It can't happen. We got to do something about this. And last year, we all know what happened. We went down to Jersey. The dudes beat us 31-7. Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs ran for 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. They just went crazy on us. Their defense caused 6 turnovers for our offense. Those things cannot happen. We cannot win this game that way. And so we have to get it done. And we already know the key. We got to stop those guys running the ball. Arakpo said it himself in a recent interview. We have to stop them. If we can neutralize the run, it's 2 different guys you're dealing with. You got a big guy in Jacobs, and then you got a small, fast guy in Bradshaw. So that means we got to wrap up Bradshaw. We got to stop his legs, get him down. And Jacobs, we got to chop the dude down. We got to hit him early, get the dude flustered and frustrated. We already know that he'll get mad, he'll get upset, and it will hinder his performance. So we got to get these guys down. Neutralize the run, that's the first thing. Let's put the ball in Eli's hands. They all off season they've been saying, is this guy a top 5 quarterback? Let's make him prove it. We'll see if he is a top 5 quarterback, because I believe our defense will get the job done. Now, we are set up for a great day because they've got so many people that they're missing. Steve Smith is gone to Philly. He's gone. He was a key component in their offense. We're talking about the latest headline, the middle linebacker, the starter, John Goff, out for the season. This dude's out. So that means that in the middle of their defense, the leader of their defense, out. Osi Umenyiora cannot play. So the first line of defense, the second line of defense are already altered in a major way. That means that we can start running the ball right away. We can get after him. Let's see, Amukamara, the corner, the first round draft pick. This guy was going to compete. This guy was going to lend a hand on the defensive side of the ball. He's gone. He's not out. He's not able to play this week. And then they're saying that Justin Tuck, there's a possibility that he can't play. So listen, look, it's lined up for us. We can get it done. If we can go out there, if we can execute, get the things done properly, we will win the game. And good news, I mean, Cooley and LaRon Landry, they both practiced this week. Obviously, you know the NFL, you're not going to know if they're playing until game day. That's just what it is. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop figuring out if they practice. Yeah, they might practice. They may not practice. They did practice a little bit, both of them on Monday, and they've been limited, but it's a possibility they could be out there. Obviously, those guys are centerpieces on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. If they play, it just heightens our chances of being successful. But I believe we can get it done. Now, last thing, fantasy tip of the week. I want to try to give you one of these every week. I believe that Tim Hightower is a good pick for your fantasy team. Now, you might say, hey, well, the guy's new. He hasn't really gelled in the offense. The guy can be a good pick. He will get you some points. Trust me on this. I'll talk to you again after this game, and I'm going to tell you this guy, I think he will be an addition to your fantasy team. And obviously, if you're playing in a fantasy league where you guys have individual defensive players, it's rare, but it happens. D'Angelo is a no-brainer. I'm telling you, this guy got me some serious points last year when he came away with like a 2 or 3 pick game. I mean, he has the ability, he's a ball magnet. So he's a guy that you can't go wrong with if you have defensive players. Lastly, I want to tell you too, I saw that they have a new thing for women fans for the Redskins. It's wowredskins.com, WOWredskins.com. This is the Women of Washington Redskins. It gives you an opportunity as a female fan to be in touch with what's going on, to have releases and things sent to you by email, and to stay in the game. So, this is something I want to do every week. Now this week, this is going to be called VFox's Throwback Item of the Week. This will give you an opportunity to see some type of memorabilia, something that I carried away from my experience as a Redskin that means a lot to me. And the first item I'm going to show you this week is a small trophy. Now, all of us got this, all of the defensive backs in 2007. It says 39 well, it doesn't say Vernon, it says Vernon. They didn't spell my name right, but I still appreciate it, Coach Steve Jackson and Jerry Gray. This is something that's meaningful to me. This was a great team that we played with, and I'll always miss those guys. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right, so come back throughout the week. Always pay attention to what's going on here with Throwback Talk with V Fox. And I actually have a challenge and a contest that will be going on for Redskins fans later this week. So stay tuned, all righty? Let's do it. Hail to the Redskins.
Catch me every week for pregame and postgame analysis and everything in between. God bless.